project management trainer and coach. On the other end of the camera is, just keep it quiet, it's Emily who's filming me today. But anyway, today we decided that we'll just show you guys what change requests actually go through before they materialize on the other end as approved or before they actually become deliverables. And this comes from one of our students who we're actually training here, who said, Phil, Emily, what do I do? I've got a change request. How does it go through the pipeline? So we're going to show you how that all happens. So think about it. First of all, you have different processes in monitoring and controlling. So we can say monitoring and controlling processes except perform integrated change control. Okay? Perform integrated change control. So all of these processes except perform integrated change control in monitoring and controlling, these all give us change requests. So, change requests. So remember page 61, all of those processes in monitoring and controlling except performing a great change control, they all give change requests, and all those change requests then go to perform integrated change control. So this is the perform integrated change control process. Okay, now as the change requests go into perform integrated change control, they come out as either rejected into a change log. So we have a change log, right? They go into a change log, or we have something called approved change requests. And these approved change requests, they go to either of two places. Either they're going to go to a process known as control quality, and at the same time you see these approved change requests go into a process known as direct and managed project work. Okay. So these approved change requests, they could either go into control quality or they could go here. Now, they typically would go here first because we're trying to come out with something that goes in here, which is called a deliverable. So really, this is your deliverable. Going into control quality. Remember, your deliverable is going to be inspected here, and then you're going to measure up this deliverable with the approved change request to make sure these approved change requests are now in the deliverable. Now, if that's the case, it comes out on this end, it comes out as something called a verified deliverable. Okay, so see the big picture? It's then going to become an input to another process, which is called validate scope. You see how it's all unfolding? Now, after the verify deliverable goes into validate scope, inspection takes place, and then, hopefully on the other end, this is where your customer accepts the deliverable. So we're going to get an accepted deliverable if the customer approves it. And that accepted deliverable is then going to become an input to another process known as closed project or phase. And if all goes well, we have a final input, which is pretty much terminal, and this is known as final product service or result transition. All right, but there's still a few things that could happen. So think about it. In control quality, we also have an output, which is known as validated changes. That means these approved change requests have been confirmed in this verified deliverable. And we call that validated changes. So again, this is just paperwork. It could be in any form. Validated changes. And these validated changes are going to go to a process known as monitor and control project work. Now remember, monitor and control project work actually belongs to these monitoring and controlling processes over there. Okay, so we've got it here, but remember it's also included in there. With that in mind, you could get change requests that come from here and make the trip into perform integrated change control. There's also a very interesting relationship in that you have two things. So I'm going to draw a very long arrow going all the way from here, going this way, and going back in here. And there are two things that come from monitor and control project work and go back into perform integrated change control. So the first one is change requests. And the second one is known as work performance reports. So we're going to show that here. Also remember though that in validate scope, if things don't go too well, you could have, again, change requests going back in here. I know we already have validate scope somewhat in here. We also have control quality somewhat in there. But for the most part, these two give you change requests as well if the conditions are not favorable, and let's say they fail your internal test, or let's say you failed your customer test, you're going to get change requests from those as well. So a whole bunch of change requests going into performing a great change control, the change log. This is an input to a process known as We've also got those that have been approved, those that are pending, but then the approved change requests themselves go back into production. Okay? We can draw some other relationships, and I'll just show you a few more, just so you're aware that from direct and managed project work, we also have going into control quality. We also have work performance data, so I'm going to make that another input. I'll just make that blue, work performance data. We also have work performance data going into validate scope all the way over there. So just do another little line here. And this is your, just call it WPD. Just remember that's work performance data as well. So work performance data, we wanted to draw one more line to clarify that your work performance data comes from here. And it also makes a trip to, now watch out for this mod, I'm going to modify this. I'm going to say monitoring and controlling processes except those in integration. You know why? Because WPD does not go to monitor and control project work. Okay? So, I think we're done. Up to 15 minutes.